A call came in through the Airbnb app. It was Landon. I didn't answer. He messaged instead. You cannot cover the climate monitors. It's in the house rules. Do not unplug anything. I wrote, I'm leaving. He sent back a thumbs up emoji, like he was being polite. It felt like he was smirking. When I went to the door, I heard footsteps on the other side. Slow, the handle moved like someone was testing it. Then a beep from the keypad, and the deadbolt started to turn. I shoved the chain across, just as the door pushed inward against it, and the wood made a stressed, low creak. Who is it? I said, my voice higher than usual. A man's voice said through the gap. Smooth and polite. Maintenance. Landon sent me to check the AC alert, I said. I called the police. I hadn't yet. I said it anyway. Silence. Then the weight on the door eased and the footsteps moved away down the hall. I actually did call then. The dispatcher kept me on the line for what felt like forever, which was 20 minutes. I waited in the hall with my suitcase and my back against the wall. The door chain set, the towel over the mirror. The hum of the building filled the space. Somewhere, a dog barked once, like a warning, and then stopped. 2 officers came. They were kind to me in a way that made me feel small and safe. I didn't want to go back in, but I did. They looked at the clock and the smoke detector. One of them turned the clock over and popped a thin panel I hadn't noticed. Inside was a little card. He snapped a photo of it with his phone. The other officer pulled a chair under the smoke detector and twisted the face. When it came off, another little card. He said, "This is going to be evidence." I was moved to a hotel. Airbnb refunded me and sent one of those template apologies that mean nothing. The listing disappeared. Landon messaged me a final time, out of nowhere. "I'm sorry you felt uncomfortable." There were no cameras inside, and then he blocked me. I tried to forget it happened, but a week later, I got a message request on Instagram from an account with no posts and a blank profile picture. The message had a single video, 10 seconds long. It was me. On the loft's couch, the towel was over the clock on the nightstand in the background. The clip was dark and grainy and in black and white, like night vision. I was sleeping with my arm over my eyes. The caption under it said, "You look safer on the couch. I went to the police again." They took it seriously. They told me that sometimes the people who put cameras in Airbnb's don't store the video locally. They stream it to something else, that something else could be anywhere. They couldn't find where the message came from. A burner account. Likely. 2 months later, a new listing popped up in Midtown with the same rug, same wall plant, same bed, different hosts. I sent the link to Airbnb, and they ignored me. I don't book Airbnbs for work anymore. My company pays a little extra for hotels, and I always check the smoke detector anyway. There was this one nice thing at the end, if you can call it that. An older officer called me to update me on the case. He said, "You weren't wrong to trust your gut. People call us paranoid until the day they need us." 10A added softer. "Keep trusting it." I do. I trust it so much now. I wish I could turn it off. I'm a 27-year-old woman who travels for work. I'm careful with where I stay, but the company's travel budget gives me a little freedom. In June last year, I booked a modern loft in Midtown Atlanta. The photos had exposed brick, a plant in a white pot, a gray bed with clean lines. The host's name was Landon. He was the review said spotless, safe, great communication. I got in around 10:45 p.m. after a delayed flight. And a long rideshare, the building smelled like lemon cleaner and dust. The hallway lighting made everything a little yellow. The code worked on the first try. Inside, it was exactly like the photos, almost too exactly. Like the space never changed between guests. The bed faced a large mirror. On the nightstand was a digital clock with a mirrored face, the kind that shows the numbers glowing through the reflective surface. The first weird thing was that the clock wasn't plugged in. It was on, the digits steady, but there was no cord. The second weird thing was a tiny circle, darker than the rest of the mirror, down at one corner. In the bright overhead light, I told myself it was a scuff. I showered and put on a t-shirt. The air conditioner kicked on with a soft metallic thud. I turned off the overhead lights and got into bed. The city was a low rumble outside the window. As my eyes adjusted, I noticed a dim red dot inside the clock. It wasn't the numbers. It was behind the mirror face, like a little ember. I sat up and turned on the bedside lamp. The red dot vanished. I leaned close to the clock and saw that tiny circle again at the corner. Behind it, something glinted. It could have been my own reflection. It could have been a lens. I FaceTimed my friend Megan. "Tell me I'm being paranoid," I said, flipping the camera around to show her the clock. She said, "Try this. Turn off the lamp and point your phone camera at it. Infrared lights sometimes show up as white glows on cameras." I did. The room went dark, and through my phone screen, the mirrored clock had a bright little star in that same spot. My skin prickled. The hair on my arms lifted. I pointed the phone at the smoke detector. Another star. Barely there, but there. My eyes started to water without me meaning to. It felt like someone had put their mouth an inch from my ear and whispered, "I see you." I texted Landon through the app. "Are there cameras in this unit?" "I need a direct answer," he replied immediately. "Only a doorbell camera outside the unit. Nothing inside." I wrote, "There is a device in the bedroom that appears to be recording." I didn't say clock. I didn't want to help him if I was right. He said, "There are no cameras inside. There is a temperature sensor in the bedroom to regulate the AC. Please do not cover or tamper with anything. You will set off an alert." My stomach flipped at that last line. I got up and draped a towel over the clock and the smoke detector anyway. It made me feel like a kid, hiding under a blanket from a shadow. It wasn't enough. I grabbed my roller bag and took it into the hallway. The hall was empty. Someone's TV echoed a laugh track 2 doors down.